everyone, welcome back to my channel Coffee with Goodreads. As promised, I am back with another good book, and today's book is The Making of a Manager by Julie Zhou. This is the book. So, who should read this book? If you are someone who is recently promoted at their job, or you are someone who wonders what are the qualities of a good manager, or you are someone who wonders how should manager function best, then this is the book for you because this book has all the answers for above questions. Before we get into the book, I want to talk a little bit about the author. Julie Zhou basically started as an intern at Facebook and made her way all the way to the VP of product design. She was offered the managerial role quite early in her career when she was not quite ready for it. She explains her journey, her experiences, and her learnings through this book, and that is why this book can act as a Bible for all the new managers out there. She feels like a friend who is giving tips over coffee. There are three key takeaways from this book. First being, what is management? Second, how to manage yourself. And third, how to lead a team. Let's talk about what is management. Management is basically all about the three P's, that is purpose, people, and process. The team members should be aware about the purpose, why they are doing the job, what is the big picture behind it. They should be aware that their career and growth are important to you as a manager. And lastly, there should be effective processes in place that enable the team members to do their job. So basically, in a nutshell, the role of a manager is to get better outcomes from a group of people working together. Let's move on to the next part, that is managing yourself. This is my favorite part from the book. So, if you can manage yourself well, or if you have a hold on yourself, then you are already in a good place. As per the author, there are 5 parts of managing yourself. First part being, get brutally honest with yourself. You should be well aware about what are your strengths, what environments favor you, how can you get it done. You can do it with the help of SWOT analysis, or speaking to your friends and family and getting their feedback. Part 2 is know your triggers. Basically, one should be aware of what does not work for you and what environments do not bring the best version in yourself. For example, someone might perform extraordinarily under pressure while others might go blank. So this is one example of environment which does not favor you. Moving on to the third part, that is, you know your strengths and weaknesses, but the calibration as per the real picture is also necessary. What I mean by this is, as per you, you might be great at doing something, but that might not be the case really. So, in order to get the real and practical picture, please go ahead and take feedback from your friends and family or team members whom you trust, and then calibrate yourself accordingly. For example, you might feel you are good at conducting meetings, but that not might be the case in the real world. Let's move on to the part 4, that is knowing your environments. I've already spoken about this part in the earlier steps, so I will just give an example. For example, if you are a morning person, then it is possible that you get your best work done in the morning rather than later in the day. So this was about knowing an environment which favors you. And lastly, let's move on to the part 5, which is a difficult part, that is when you are in the pit. So what do I mean by that? Work and life can be crazy sometimes. It gets all very overwhelming. And it is not possible for us to not lose our cool and get through it all the time. We are not Captain Cool, ultimately. So, what can you do in such a situation? You can say to yourself, the story I have in my head is probably irrational. You can visualize by closing your eyes and imagining that everything is going to be fine and everything will work itself out. You can ask yourself what you are going to do when you are out of the pit. One other thing which one can do is maintaining a journal called Little Wins. This idea author suggested in her book, and what she means by this is basically you note down all the activities which you did throughout the day which you are proud of. and in this way you can express gratitude and feel good about yourself having achieved. Let's move on to the last takeaway of this book, that is how to manage your team. As a manager, you should be aware that people are your biggest asset. You should take care of your team by following or working on the besides activities, that is trust. Trust is very important in any relationship. Your reportees should feel comfortable enough to come to you with their biggest challenges, their critical feedback, and also should be willing to work with you again in the future. Next is honesty. You should share honest feedback with your reportees in terms of areas of improvement and their strengths. Next is respect and care. You should genuinely care for your reportees. Caring is managing. Next is help people to their strengths and make people move quickly. What I mean by this is, as a manager, you are aware of the strengths of your reportees. So you should be able to move them to better roles if opportunity presents itself. You should help them grow in their career and hence help the organization also. And lastly, the zero tolerance policy. Basically, sometimes in team there can be someone who is very talented at the work they do, but they also make others feel worse about themselves. For such a kind of person, you should have zero tolerance policy and should be ready to replace them with someone who is equally talented and who is humble and kind at the same time. So this was all about managing your team. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video with another great book, and till then, bye bye.